It was a cold morning on campus where winter's chill did blow. Some athletes trudged back from Jordan with steps both firm and slow. "Why don't we build a snowman?" one of them proposed. After all, they'd just finished practice. No one could be opposed.
They shaped a base both solid and round. A snowy creation was forming on the ground. They named him Murry and put a hat on his head, scarf colored crimson and buttons colored red.
But something was missing, one person pointed out. In the center of his face, it was a nose he was without. We can come back later with a carrot, I suppose. So this became the story of how Murry found his nose.
It was his first time on campus, not knowing where to begin. He wanted to look for a building, something he could go in. There was a place called Murry. He seemed to like that name. He saw a court made of glass and people playing a game.
Upon first look, it was not what he was searching for, so Murry went outside and continued to explore. He rolled into the stadium, and out of the corner of his eye, there sticking out of the snow, approximately 1 foot high.
A football that must have been forgotten about. He decided to test it. Though there was some doubt it was far too big, that he did know things would be different once Murry found his nose.
He rolled into Gordon, careful not to track snow inside. Someone had left their spikes. Luckily, they were just his size. But it wouldn't make sense. A snowman wearing shoes. It was a nose he was looking for, and that he won't refuse.
From soccer to rugby, he hoped something would work, but who was he kidding, he thought with a smirk. They were certainly fun to play with, but almost as big as his head. So Murry rolled away to look for something smaller instead.
O'Donnell in Soldiers Field, he went with one goal in mind. Perhaps a baseball or softball, something of that kind. Needed something thin, potentially a field hockey stick, or maybe a lacrosse ball, that might do the trick.
It was almost perfect, but it was hard to see in his snow. It needed to be brighter. That he did know. He rolled up to Barron, where he had a great thought. A tennis ball might work. He decided to give it a shot.
It didn't feel right, but he was headed in a good direction. He just wanted a nose, not looking for perfection. He must keep searching, that he did know. Things would be different once Murry found his nose.
He rolled to Stura where he saw Newell and Weld. The rowing boats were the perfect shape. Across the street he propelled. Upon further inspection, the boats were far too big, and a sailboat wouldn't be better. He needed something the size of a twig.
Murry tried to ask for help, but no one knew what he meant. He decided to check Malkin, so across the river he went. The skiers drove by on their way to the slope. A ski wouldn't work, but he was beginning to lose hope.
Murry entered the building and decided to take off his hat. He first stopped at wrestling and rolled right onto the mat. He looked around, but there was nothing for him here. All the wrestlers had was some funny-looking headgear.
He rolled down the hall straight to the fencing strip. Murry wanted to pick up a foil, but he almost got pricked. He decided to leave Malkin and rolled back over the bridge. To Blodgett he went, where he found the door open just a smidge.
Murry rolled into the pool and was very careful not to fall in. He tried on a pair of goggles and tied a cap under his chin. Though they were fun to wear, Murry didn't need those. Things would be different once Murry found his nose.
Murry kept searching, but he still appeared to be out of luck. Basketball, volleyball, putter, even a hockey puck. The snow began to stop, the sun began to show. He searched the cold as he was starting to slow.
To Bright Landry he went. It was the perfect place. He sat at center ice with sadness over his face. All he wanted was a nose, but another day he must await, when out of the corner of his eye, he saw a big machine come out of a gate.
It was the Zamboni, making the ice shiny and smooth. Murry stood there frozen in fear. He couldn't seem to move. Atop the Zamboni, there was someone in the driver's seat, steering the big machine while they had something to eat.
As they got closer to Murry, he couldn't believe his eyes. It was something orange they were enjoying, and it was the perfect size. Murry rolled out of the way as the Zamboni dove past. When it came to a stop, and they let out a laugh.
"What a cute snowman," the person exclaimed with glee. "But where's your nose?" they asked wordly. With one look at their snack, they decided to share. "You need this more than me," as they gave him a spare.
For it was a carrot. Murry rolled around in delight. He was so thankful he decided to go into bright. The Zamboni drove away and Murry rolled to center ice. His smiles couldn't leave his face, all because the stranger was nice.
He couldn't believe he was finally complete. He was thankful for the carrot, but it was bittersweet. because there he must wait until the next snow. So that became the story of how Murry found his nose.